Okay, let's have a look at this one. So we've got a bullet accelerating down the length of the barrel of a gun. So this is obviously a rifle because it's 75 centimeters long. Okay, there's no pistols that are that long. Okay, now the way a gun works is once the hammer hits the round, the powder detonates, and then essentially there's a tight seal along the barrel that allows the expanding gases from the explosion of the gunpowder to force the bullet out the barrel. Okay, so basically these expanding gases push the bullet through the barrel, and that's what gives the bullet its velocity, is the force of the expanding gases, right? So we've got a distance that's going to be 0.750 meters, right? We know the acceleration is massive, okay? It's 5.35 times 10 to the 5 meters per second, okay? Meters per second squared, sorry. So it's a massive acceleration because a bullet exits the barrel of the gun faster than the speed of sound if you're firing a rifle. Okay, which leads to the expression people in the military have, is that you never hear the bullet. Okay, because realistically, it gets you before the sound gets there. Kind of unsettling. Okay, but it's true. All right, so we've got the acceleration being 5.35 times 10 to the 5 meters per second squared. With what speed does it exit the barrel? All right, so VF is unknown. What's VI? 0. Bullet wasn't moving when it was fired. Okay, when the trigger is pulled, the bullet is stationary. Okay, it doesn't outright say that in the question, but we have to assume that. Okay, that VI was 0 in this situation. All right, so the only formula I have that has those in it is VF squared equals VI squared plus 2AD. It's the only one we haven't gone over yet. So we are looking for VF in this case, which is nice because now we don't have to manipulate. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. We do have to manipulate because this formula solves for VF squared, and I just want VF. Okay, so VF is going to be the square root of VI squared plus 2AD. This is going to get even easier because what's VI? 0. All right, so really VF is the square root of 2 times AD. Okay, so VF then will equal the square root of 2 times that 5.35 times 10 to the 5 times the distance, which was 0.75 meters. Okay, so we're going to have 2 times, and then we have to put this in brackets. Sorry, I have to square root of 2. Okay, 5.35 to the power of 5. Okay, keep missing numbers here. There we go. Okay, and then times 0.75. Okay, so it's going to leave the barrel at 895 meters per second. I think we only have, do we have 2 significant figures there? 3 significant figures there. So 895 meters per second. Okay, to give you some idea, the speed of sound in air at room temperature is around 340 meters per second. So this thing is traveling almost 3 times faster than the speed of sound. Certainly 2.5 times faster. Okay. Yeah, a little bit scary that you would never hear that bullet. Okay. It would arrive long before the sound of it being fired arrived. Okay. If you've ever been at a track meet, you know it takes a little while. If you're standing on the far side of the track from the starter's pistol, right, you see the smoke long before you hear the sound. Right, so same case here. Questions on how that formula worked? Okay, let's quickly look at some manipulations of that formula. All right, so I got VF squared equals VI squared plus 2AD. If I want to solve for VI, what do I do with this? Subtract it over here. So it'll be VF squared, okay, minus 2AD will equal VI squared. Obviously, I would square root if I was looking for VI. Everyone okay with that? All right, what if I am looking for A? What do I do with VI? Right now I'm adding it, so I would subtract it. Okay, so I'm going to have VF squared minus VI squared divided by, I'm looking for A, be divided by 2D. I would just divide the 2D over to this side. All right, if I was looking for D, then this changes to 2a. Okay, we just divide the other thing over instead. Everybody all right with that? All right, so just a little bit of manipulation, a little bit of algebra there. Okay, nothing terribly difficult. Okay, let's have you guys try these ones here. Okay, so for number one, the trick here is that you don't have to use the formula we just went over to solve part A. In fact, once you solve part A, you don't need the formula we just went over to solve part B. You could use any of the formulas after that. Okay, so what we have here first off is that the initial velocity of the jetliner is 70 meters per second. Okay, it reverses its engines in order to provide braking. That's how those work. If you've ever been on a plane when it lands, okay, you can actually feel the jets going the wrong way. Okay, and it comes to a halt. So VF is 0 meters per second, and it does that in 29 seconds. All right, so it's asking me what's the jet's acceleration? Well, can I use my science 10 formula for that? Right, that'll give me what I need. So A equals VF minus VI over T. So that's essentially going to be 0 minus 70 over 29 seconds. So 0 minus 70 divided by 29 seconds. All right, gives me negative 2.4 meters per second squared. Right, there's my acceleration. Now that I have acceleration, I can use any formula I want to calculate the length of runway that would be required, okay, in order to do this. Okay, I'm going to use this one. Okay, because I now have A, I just calculated it, and I have the two speeds they were given to me. All right, so I'm going to manipulate for D, so that'll be subtract VI squared, so VF squared minus VI squared, right, divided by 2A equals D, so 0 minus 70 squared divided by 2 times the negative 2.4. Okay. So 70 squared divided by, sorry, that should be, I got to put the whole thing in, 0 minus 70 squared divided by 2 times negative 2.4. All right, so it's going to need roughly a kilometer of runway. Okay, 1,020 meters. Okay, questions on number one? Right, keep trying on number two there. All right, let's quickly look at the last one here, guys. Okay, so we got these on-ramps that are designed so motorists can move seamlessly into highway traffic. Okay, they want to increase from 50 kilometers per hour, which I have to have in meters per second. Okay, so we're looking at 13.8 repeating. Okay, so VI is 13.8 repeating meters per second. Their final velocity needs to be 100 kilometers per hour, which is 27.7 repeating meters per second. And they can accelerate at 3.8 meters per second squared because it's a ramp and there's a component of gravity that's assisting the engine coming down. That's why we always build them that way. All right, we are looking for the minimum length of the on-ramp, which means, again, we're going to use this formula. VF squared equals VI squared plus 2AD. We were never told the time, okay, so we only have this information. So solving for D means subtract VI squared from both sides and then divide by 2A to leave D by itself. So that'll be 27.7 minus 13.8 divided by 2 times 3.8, and that'll give us our length of 76 meters. Okay, all right, tomorrow we will be doing a lab on acceleration. Okay, so make sure you've got the SparkView app on your phone, okay, because you're going to need that again tomorrow to collect the data. So if you've deleted that since we did our last lab, make sure you reinstall it before tomorrow. Okay, and then don't forget your exam on the 12th, vector assignment on Monday. Okay, make sure you're getting those things done or coming in to get help if you need it.